Happy New Year for 2022. And thank you guys for all supporting and being part of the live streams and contributing to the chats and helping answer questions that I can't, because I could hardly get this set up with the right time. So
you're
I'm clearly
late.
not an expert.
You're 5 minutes late.
Aside from the 2:00 timing of the meeting, which I swear I checked that 3 or 4 times. And
I'll give you another.
yeah, and there's Chris.
Give you a better background here.
So thanks everyone for joining. And Jim's been doing a bunch of tests on the snow with FSD.
Yep. Well, I did one and it went horribly wrong.
Yeah, that was it's tough when it can't see the markings, but
well, it could see. It just thought the road was about twice as wide as it really was, and the roads were kind of cupped, and it just wanted to go off the road without even thinking about it.
What I noticed is it wants to go too fast around on ice. It don't have no idea that there's ice underneath there, and the car wants to go, bat out of hell around the corner, and then it goes sliding into the curbs. That's what happened to me.
Yeah,
it's pretty loosey-goosey.
Yeah, it seems like it's taking kind of each situation a little differently. I had to drive about 15 miles last night, and the roads were starting to ice back up, and it did a lot better than it ever has in the past, adjusting to like using more regen, slowing down on time on the different surfaces. And it would still take corners pretty fast, but instead of knocking me out when it started to skid, it just followed through and continued on the path, which, although I wouldn't have taken the turn that fast, it handled it better than I'd ever seen. So I guess that's a step in the right direction. I don't know what you guys have seen, but
yeah.
I think it's definitely progressing. It's getting a lot better. I'm not really talking about disengagements. I actually bought a pair of fuzzy dice off of Amazon because I was trying to think of some way that I could show on a video just how much it was slowing down and speeding up, and then 10.8 comes out and pretty much fixes all of it. So it's like I didn't even have a chance to use them.
That's a good idea, though.
Just not for videos.
Yeah, some kind of almost like the SpaceX gravity indicator or the 0G indicator. Yeah, something like that. I tried
using. Sorry, family photo from outside the room. But yeah, I actually tried seeing if I could use accelerometer for my phone and an app, but it felt like it was hard G's, but my phone's like, nah, that's nothing.
You could almost borrow somebody's Draggy and try to see if Draggy could record it.
Yeah.
Hey, I found out from those Tesla guys, those guys up in Canada, if somebody's from, they don't have FSD up there. If you drive so Brian, you don't have to drive to Canada. So if you drive your car across the border into Canada, FSD works. I got a couple of guys that drove across the border, and it works in the Toronto area and stuff. But they're not allowed to have it.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be sometime next year, I think they've been saying, but
yeah.
I don't know if it's regulators or just they don't want to mess with a bunch of different sets of rules. Yet I'm not
Hard
sure.
To say.
You see how they lock the games out right away? If you're in Drive, those games it says you can't access them. They blanked them out after that investigation or something. The games are locked out for everybody now.
Yeah, I heard they were doing that, which it's probably just easiest to get everybody off their backs about it, but
yeah.
I have to admit that until 10.8 came out, I actually never played a game on my car.
I don't.
So
The phone thing, I want them to fix that. You need to have that red button on there. You can't hang the calls up. You answer the phone call from the car and you can't, you got to sit there and fumble around trying to hang the call up. You know, the,
really,
Yeah,
Yeah.
has anybody else used the phone on 10.8 yet? Because
no.
yeah, I haven't had a chance to yet. And
I'm the second guy that's found it out, so, or talked about it. Said,
Yeah,
no,
You can't use the button on the right right side of the
Just-
steering wheel to press it and
I
that won't hang up.
didn't try that, but it is no, there used to be a red button on the screen.
Yeah.
Do you think
There
they
is
just forgot about?
there is currently on the Plaid version of 11. So I imagine they'll eventually add it. It probably just wasn't merged correctly.
Oh,
Because I think the Plaid's kind of a pseudo version of 11. Like they kind of platformed it on the refreshed S's. And my phone does have the red button on my S right now on my Plaid. So
Jason, does your sketch pad work on yours? I found two problems on, I'm the guy, I just wondered.
yeah, no, we're actually missing a couple things from the Plaid still right now. Currently, we don't. Well, you know what? I'm not 100% sure if we have Sketchpad, but I know we don't have karaoke right now. They slowly feature add stuff to the Plaid. Like we got Auto Park about a month ago, so that's one thing in general. I'm not sure because I was expecting, you know, which one of the UIs are they gonna kind of go forward with? Because there's V11 on the general fleet, and then there's the Plaid version, and they still kind of vary a bit. So I don't know which way they're gonna drive the UI to be more like the refreshed S, or if they're gonna drive it more towards V11. That would be kind of an interesting thing to find out and kind of track.
Well, Jason, iterate, I have Sketchpad, but it doesn't recognize my finger inputs on the screen. When you touch it, so.
I guess I'm not sure. I'd have to check.
It's not a big deal, but it don't work. I mean, no.
maybe it's your finger, John. Did you ever think of that?
Yeah.
And Tony's joining us.
Okay, where's
So Chris, you got a chance to drive an X today? Did I see that correctly?
Yeah, I did.
what?
First time in an X. I still prefer my 3. It was an old loaner, it's like a 2017 maybe. I'm not entirely sure. It was AP1. Yeah, I posted something about it didn't have the effect of, you know, making me look down on Model 3 owners or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because that's supposed to happen, isn't it? As soon as you get in an X, you're supposed to like start looking at the peasants in the Model 3, right?
Right.
No,
Yeah.
it didn't happen. So
It didn't happen for me either when I had a loaner for I think it was a 2019 Model X. I frankly wasn't that impressed. It felt like a minivan to me, and that took me way back to some years that were fond in many ways to think of with my kids, and also I was glad to get rid of the minivan.
Yeah, but they had it in chill mode. That's why I had one too, down at Roseville, or not Roseville, or the one South Metro.
Eden Prairie.
Yeah, they gave me an X a couple times. And they got it in chill mode, so the thing is doggy, you know.
this one wasn't in chill mode, which was nice. Someone had turned off auto steer for some reason.
You know how they do that? Because they says people burn their tires up too much. I don't know.
Who would do a thing like that?
But you can't spin the tires. I don't know how they.
I suppose fast turns or whatever. There's Tony.
Hey guys.
Roland, do you guys are you guys covered in snow up there in North Dakota yet?
Not much snow, but it's like this morning it's negative 18. So yeah, it's brutal.
Is the car working well for you still in the cold?
So actually, that's one thing I gotta ask you. I'm gonna ask an expert because here in Williston we got a bunch of block heater plugs for those diesel trucks.
Mm-hmm.
So normally I plug in my my car there, but it broke down. So I don't know, maybe the circuit. So it's been almost 3 days now that I don't plug my car. So so my question is, would that be okay with my 2016 Model S? Just out in the cold for 9 hours, 10 hours.
It should be. If it's getting a decent charge at night, or you're able to take it to the like level 2 chargers in town.
My commute is just 10 miles. So and
Yeah.
I'm surviving with level 1. So it's just that
Turn your,
I lose about
yeah, I would
50
turn your
miles.
climate control on. Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
I would suggest I leave my car out all day in Iowa in the winter time. It doesn't get as cold as North Dakota, but turning it on, turn your climate control on 15, 20 minutes before you're going to go somewhere, then the car will actually use some of the energy to pump it into heating the battery pack and getting it up to optimal temperature. It'll help you some, but generally you just get in and go.
He's got a problem with charging, I think, don't he?
Oh, it's not charging when it's that cold?
No, you don't have a charging hookup or something. Is that what you said, Tony? Or
That's Roland.
Roland, I mean?
Yeah, so it's just out in the open. So there's no charging. So it's just I just park it for 10 hours, which is my work. And then it's been 3 days now, and they said they're gonna fix it, but it's gonna be a week before they fix it. So it's gonna be my concern is gonna be negative the whole week, and it's gonna be outside for the whole week. But
turn off Sentry mode. Don't check your app. You should be fine.
I hope I got Sentry mode. I got a 2016, so I don't have that. Mine's a dinosaur.
You're still able to by yourself. Sorry.
Oh, what'd you say, Jim?
I said 2016. Do you still have to drive it by yourself?
Yes.
Or do you have autopilot at all?
I got autopilot, yeah, but it's
well, that's something.
missing a lot of the features. So it's a dinosaur.
No dryer plug. Oh.
Are you still able to plug in at night in your garage?
Yes, I was able to plug it in at night. So and like I said, I only got 10 miles of commute. So I pretty much gained that back every night.
You got 240 volts in your garage. You just 115.
115.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You gotta get that wired in.
If he's only doing 10 miles a day, then he's fine.
Yeah, it's first 2 hours, nothing much. It's not getting any juice, but eventually it's gonna get a little bit of maybe 3 miles an hour. So overnight, I top up also. So my 80%.
Yeah, you should be fine. I guess if it gets low, like you start getting to the point where like it's not getting above like 50%, or you get down to about 40%, you might want to just run it down to the level 2 chargers in town and set it on that for a couple hours just to warm the pack up again. But
alrighty,
I think you're fine as long as good thing you guys are here because I can't talk tonight. As long as you can kind of get it back to where you were, overnight, you should be all right.
What's his closest supercharger around there?
Dickinson, I think, which is quite a hike.
Oh.
Or Regina.
Does Regina have one now?
Yeah, they have one now. So
okay.
But I'm not vaccinated, so I cannot cross the Canada. So
did anybody see the Elon interview with Lex Friedman? Anybody have any thoughts on that?
When was that?
I think it was just published yesterday, but it's 2 hours long.
I saw it.
Yeah, it was,
Very, very good.
yeah, I liked that it wasn't sensational. They weren't trying to get he wasn't trying to get like a headline out of him. It was just, hey, let's talk about technology and humanity and stuff. And so I found it one of the more interesting interviews with him.
He's a good interviewer, Lex, isn't he? He's very you can tell he's really thought about his questions. And
yeah, he doesn't interrupt like I just did. But he asked a certain question. I think about like, when is Starship going to be able to take people to Mars? And someone timed it, and he let Elon think about it for 21 seconds and wasn't going to even interrupt then. That's when Elon answered. But he just let the dead air hang until he came up with what he thought was the right answer. So I just really appreciated that, because as you can tell, I have a hard time letting dead air hang. So that's hard to do.
How about the Chinese, what they said about Elon's satellites? There's a bunch of junk in the air or something. You hear about that floating around? And you hear about that, did you?
I heard about it. I didn't see what the actual comments were. It was, yeah, it sounded like they were complaining that things were too close to their space station.
Yeah.
But I'm sure, I mean, everything's being tracked. Everybody knows exactly where that stuff is. So unless it's, something like that Russian satellite they blew up just to see if they could blow up a satellite and spread debris all over the place, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
What interests me is he's got the Tesla manufacturing in China, giving all these jobs. Why would you think they have a good relation with him? Why would they complain about it? But I don't know.
I think they kind of just like to keep everybody on their toes.
Yeah.
That's my sense of it, but it's probably nothing than just complaining. But I haven't actually read what any of what their comments or complaints were. But
I mean, if they're complaining now, there's going to be what's the goal? Like 40,000 or something satellites. So that,
yeah, there's going to be a lot.
So they're really going to have something to complain about in the future. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's going to happen anyway. So
yeah, I'm not sure how they're gonna. I mean, like I said, SpaceX knows exactly where they are, and I'm sure they're publishing that to everybody who's launching. So, if you're getting, I mean, everybody knows what height they're orbiting at, and can find out the paths. So, I would think if you launch something into that, you're kind of doing it knowingly.
Yeah, they're pretty relatively low altitude satellites too. So there's not a lot of commercial flying at that low altitude.
Yeah, I wouldn't think they'd even want a space or a station that low, because then they're going to have to keep burning to raise the orbit to keep it in orbit, a bigger object like that. But I'm not a rocket scientist.
I did my part. I did my part. I put my deposit down on a Starlink dish. So I live within, I can look out my back door. I'm about a quarter mile outside of the city limits here. And I can look out my back door and see the city lights. And they have all of the fiber and the high speed and the cable. And I got nothing. I got literally nothing where I'm at. I have a small dish that's pointed across town, line of sight to a tower, and the internet is horrible. So I put down my deposit on a Starlink, and they said maybe by mid 2022 I'll get it.
What? Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's too
the
bad.
same.
It must be
That's the same
materials that's
for me.
slowing it down, because we saw some people get them. It must be materials and supplies. Has to be.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why, because it says the way they word it is they say that they aren't expanding into my area until mid 2022, and I'm like, they're up there. It's like, what do you mean not in my area?
the dish.
Maybe they don't have
changed.
all the satellites up there enough yet.
It's not round anymore. It's a different shape now. I've seen.
Yeah, it's a rectangle now. Yeah.
Dirty Tesla guy got one. He's out in the middle of boonies out in Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think, well, you'll probably put a deposit down too, and you'll probably get it before us, because I was looking at the trees around and the fact that we're in a suburb. Our internet is pretty terrible here. We've been fighting with it where it just dies all the time, which is, I'm really surprised the live stuff so far has worked out, because it's just, we were trying to watch cartoons with our daughter before she went to bed and just kept dying on us. So we'd love to get it, but yeah, I think when we signed up, it was, we'll be expanding more in mid 2022 as well. But I figured let's get in line and hopefully, but it sounds like you're in more dire need than we are.
Oh, I can get by. I'm obviously on a call like this. I can stream Netflix most of the time. It just hangs a lot now. We have to go cycle power on my dish about 3 times a day, it seems like. And I don't think it's just because of this. A lot of people, I think, kids are off school. I think the network's getting hit pretty hard right now. So it's probably worse than normal.
I noticed the day after Christmas, the internet was lagging. It's supposed they were getting new computers, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's probably people like Tony uploading their light shows for their Model 3.
Yeah, I think that was only 450 megas.
You did a custom show. Did you do a sorry, I'm trying to read your comment and talk at the same time. What song did you end up using?
Speed test.
It's actually by Rage Against the Machine. I thought it was appropriate for Elon Musk. The song is Renegades of Funk.
Oh, okay.
The Renegades.
Yeah. I was just going to see if we could bring it up, and then I realized when I put this on YouTube, they're going to kick me out for having a copyright song. But you put the link there, so people can check that out.
Hey, Tony, did you have experience with X-Lights before you started creating this, or did you start from scratch?
No, I started from scratch. I have experience with sequencers like MIDI and stuff. Okay. So I just went on the GitHub site and just read all the instructions, and it was pretty smooth. The only thing that's kind of a pain is in X-Lights you have the when you create events on the graphic timeline, it's pretty limited. Like, so like copy and paste, it works, but it's really hard to line things up. So I had to do the best way to do it, if you're interested, is to do one channel, pick a channel and lay out all the events on it. Don't worry about the other channels, and then finish the whole song, which could be 4 or 5 minutes. And then you can copy all the events in a row and paste them to another row. So basically copy the whole channel, paste it to another channel. And then you can start to, like delete things that you don't want and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah,
Do any of the
otherwise,
lights, are any of the lights variable in brightness, or are they all just on or off?
quite a few lights are what they call rampable. You can ramp up to a level. Well, you can ramp up to 100% over, I think, 1 or 2 seconds, and you can ramp down to 0% over 1 or 2 seconds.
Okay.
So they only support limited ramp up or ramp down. Right now, in the video, I only did on off. Just it was the very first video is just like the first version 1. So I've got some ideas for better effects, but yeah, even that took. I think I spent like 3-4 hours on the programming, just because it was kind of a bad interface.
When do you download the whole interface and then, or like, is it all done on the web and then you download the finished product?
No, you actually download an app. Windows. I have Windows, but I think there's a Mac application.
Yeah,
So
I got the Mac version.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you install a full-blown desktop application on your computer, and then you start the app. You load in your music, which can be MP3 or WAV.
Is there a
then
is there a maximum length of time, like that the program will
Yeah.
do, or the car will do?
The car is limited to, I think, 5 minutes.
I heard
only-
someone say like 681 events or something like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
600 and 680, and then an event is both an on and an off are 2 events. But I did read that if you do what I was mentioning, where you copy and paste a full channel at a time, it says that if all the events are in sync, it only it only uses 1 event per channel. So that's another reason to sync everything up, like copying and pasting full channels across the whole song, because it'll probably use less events, I think.
yeah, that's fascinating. I could see how you could easily get lost doing that for hours. And
Yeah.
Chris put in the chat, I forgot about the first one I saw was Chris's Knight Rider show, and that was pretty fantastic. I was like, hey, these things can be customized. And then I saw on Twitter other people talking about it. So yeah, that Knight Rider was pretty cool.
About the new Tesla, the newer vehicles, the lights, it says Tesla on the wall.
Yeah, is that something you can change? Can you change, like, if it says something different with the Matrix headlights? Does anyone have those? Well, Jason, you do.
I wasn't sure I did, but I'll have to double check tonight. I'll run the show in my garage.
Yeah.
I ran the show finally on Christmas Eve, but I didn't have a solid surface to shoot it against because I didn't think mine were Matrix, but I thought the Ys had that, but not the S's.
Oh, I assumed Plaid had everything, but
no, not quite.
I think it's the new Model 3s, the newest Model 3s, and only the newest Y performance is what
that sounds about right, Jim.
Hey, Jason, on your Plaid, on the hard drive for the Sentry mode recorder, where is it at in the glove box?
Yes.
You put a hard drive in there, you like a solid state SD or?
Yeah, they actually gave me one of the Tesla versions that comes with the car with the Plaid. They give you a free Tesla one, but I
Oh,
put a Samsung SSD in my glove compartment to do
the
that.
500, yeah.
Yeah, I think I went with the 1 terabyte. And the one thing I noticed about the Plaid, just really quick too, is that we don't have any USB ports up front, which was really kind of weird.
Oh, really?
None that we could find.
Hey, do you have 110 volt outlet in there? Is there like 115 volt outlet for laptop?
Nope.
No, nothing like that either.
No, the only ports we have in the back is for the back occupants in the center media console. So if I want to do any USB hookups, that's the only way I could do it, because they assume they have the wireless charging that you're taking care of. So they don't really give you any USB ports in the front.
Yeah, no,
Kinda
fair
odd,
enough.
but
Jeez. You gotta put the radar detector in there, but no. Where's the cigarette lighter at?
yeah,
Where's that at?
you'd have to wire them up to the back.
Oh,
It's probably in his pocket.
Me, honestly, I'm just thinking of how to get my draggy hooked up. So
well. They don't even have 112 volts up front?
not that I'm aware of. I had to double check.
Oh, jeez. The problem is on your battery too, that what I understand too is it's 15 volts. So you gotta watch out. You can burn up some stuff.
That's true. It is a lithium. So all the new ones are coming with lithium. So
Yeah, but at 15 volts instead of 13 or 14, if you're pushing 14, I heard something about they had to change the windshield wiper pump because they can't, 15 volts is way too much. I mean, most systems can handle 14, but 15, you're pushing it, you're gonna burn stuff out. So I don't know.
Hey, Jason, according to Motor Trend, it says there are 2 USB-C ports underneath your center screen. I don't know what that means, but that's what it says.
I'll have to go digging. Maybe they're actually tucked up underneath where you can't see them visually. So I'll have to
Perhaps.
kind of
Maybe they're
look
up.
and-
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on the rotation, Jason, on the screen where it's supposed to rotate? Does that ever get fixed or figured out, or?
No, not yet. I mean, there was that whole rumor that there's the additional mount in the 3, and it's supposed to be in the S, where they have that articulating mount that the
Aftermarket stuff? Like-
yeah, the Eric guy out of Colorado mounted the articulating 3 screen, and the S's are supposed to have that too, but
Frugal Tesla guy or something, he had his cable bust off on him by rotating it too much. It snapped off inside the screen.
How much was he rotating it?
I don't know, something busted off. He was, look at his last video, he was all upset. He went on eBay and found a used screen for a couple $100. And
Yeah, there's actually a second video that he put out where he said that he figured out that it had nothing to do with the mount.
Oh, really?
Apparently,
Oh.
he had a faulty connector from the factory, and when he tried to put the mount on the first time, because he couldn't get it disconnected because of the faulty connector, he actually broke the solder pins on his monitor.
Oh, he was all
And then he actually, yeah, he also reported on Twitter that he said after he got the V11 upgrade, he said his screen was black. So I'd have never heard if he got it working again.
No, he went on eBay, bought apparently the numbers is a way of, if the numbers are higher than
Yeah.
the numbers that you got, he got a brand new one for $200 and it's working. So, and
yeah, I don't think the Model S is going to be rotatable because they kind of configured the dash. It's integrated inside the dash now, so it doesn't have that like bar behind it where the availability of the 3. The crossbar actually goes in where the screen goes in. So I don't think it's rotatable. I'm just double checking on the Tesla website for that.
The rims on your car are really, like the guy in Colorado, Derek and Eric, whatever, first week he hits a rock in the road or something and it dented the rims.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's not just a refresh issue. That happens. I tore up my old S with the arachnids pretty well too. So yeah, Tesla doesn't make their rims very road friendly.
Oh, Jason, I have to tell you this. Are you the guy that giving the rides at the Tim place, the last
Yeah.
event?
Yeah, me and Henry were.
Well, I got to tell you a story here. I have a unit in R7 radar detector in my car. Just before I was getting to leave, it was tinging, binging an X10. I'm going, what's going on here? There's a cop around here. And sure enough, when I drove halfway up the road, there's a cop sitting in a ditch right there. Somebody must have called on you or something.
No, yeah, there was some other people running. So, but yeah, I did notice him when he was leaving. I saw him pulled somebody over closer to the highway. But yeah.
Well, the R7 radar detector picked him up when I was sitting at you guys. R7 radar detector by Uniden is the best radar detector they have in the Tesla. I've had it for a year and it's saved my butt a bunch of times. So they're about, I don't know, $400, but they got arrows that show you where they're coming from, and it's got Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and yeah, it was going off. I was wondering there's something going on.
Yeah, they did pull somebody over. I did get a little bit of a chuckle on that.
Well, when he got me.
Was that your pretty much your only day of driving and launching the Plaid, Jason?
Yeah.
Gotta have people complain, though.
No, yeah, it's
you think they're complaining about you or somebody? Are the neighbors around there or something? I don't know.
No, we weren't making noise. It's just they know the area. There's a lot of very nice, high-powered cars coming from that area that are not just Teslas.
Well, I took off really fast, and it got real strong, and I backed off really quick, and there he was.
Yeah, the not making noise is such a huge feature that if you do want to put it down, you're not going to be advertising it.
I'm kind of curious if I haven't really had a chance, as Brian knows. I want to see if the active road noise cancellation really works that well or not. I'm hoping this weekend I can con somebody into taking me for a test drive so I can test that out.
Oh, they updated that?
Yeah.
What are the speakers in your headrest or something, or?
Something along that line. I'm not sure if it's necessarily the headrest or the whole cabin. So I'll have to report back if I'm able to test that this weekend.
Interesting.
Well, if you need someone to come up, in your convalescence, it would only be the kind thing to do to help you out with that.
Oh, by the way, how's the heat pump working in that thing for you in this cold weather?
I can't really say.
Oh, you got the screwed up leg or something.
Yep, that's it. I can't drive. It's my driver's foot. So my poor Plaid's sitting there with 2,000 miles on it, and it hasn't been driven in 2 months.
That was so sad after you waited so long for it too.
You got winter tires on it?
Yeah, I do actually. The tread connection guy came and hooked me up. I actually bought a set. They are kind of difficult to find in general. And, that's one thing that sadly Tesla dropped a little bit of a ball on. There's so many new owners of Teslas, and I've had, at least a dozen people that I kind of referred, and they said, oh, we kind of bought a Tesla because of you, and we heard about it and this and that, and they bought a Y or a 3. And it comes to the very first snowfall, and it's like, we need snow tires. And I'm like, good luck. You might be waiting a couple months now.
How about Blizzaks? They're the best ones, ain't they?
The availability, there's nobody that has them right now because they're all sold out. Because there's so many new owners, and they didn't kind of pre-plan that very well. And Tesla had basically no inventory of the people that knew to get them in advance. But then all the more novice drivers weren't aware that it might be a good idea to get them, and they're the ones that are all kind of getting stuck right now. So Tony at Tread Connection's been helping out a lot of my friends. So
where's he at? That local?
Yeah, he's a mobile service that does tire work.
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
How is the pricing on that? I mean, comparatively to going to a shop because he's mobile.
Big bucks.
Fairly reasonable. I would say more expensive, but you know, just the convenience of doing it at home. I will give the example is that it wasn't cheap, but in my current state, it worked out brilliantly. He basically took off my summer tires, took my winter tires because I bought a kit of rims and tires from because I swap. I don't pull tires off the rims and switch it that way. I have one set for summer, one set for winter. And so he pulled off my summer ones, took the brand new ones, double checked the balance on them, and they were good. I bought them from T-Line Sports or T Sports Line, and he mounted them for $65.
What's the name of it again? Name, I'll write it down here. What's the name?
Tread Connection out of the Twin Cities area. And he's actually expanding. He's hiring some new employees. So it was just Paul running around all the time. And I've seen at least 2 other employees he's training. So I think he's going to be spreading and branching out with more mobile units now. So good to see his business growing because I've only had good luck with him so far. And I have 4 neighbors, 4 Tesla neighbors, 4 people in the neighborhood that use them now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They're all Tesla owners.
Well, $65, that ain't too bad. I mean,
65, but yeah.
well, for him to come out and take care of it, yeah.
Yep, and he has full equipment. He can balance tires, mount rims, and
What's
he's
nice
got connections if you need rims or tires.
What's nice about that, Brian, is you ever try putting your tires in your vehicle and then trying to go to like down to the tire place and
Yeah, I've had my tire issues for the year,
you know,
but
Yeah.
haven't
And
put any
glass.
in the car yet.
not all 4 of them.
No, not all 4.
Oh, try to put all 4 tires in the car and go to swap them out. That's hard to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of a secret on that.
Yeah.
You get like lay one flat, lay the other one on top of it, and then behind it, lay the other one behind the one that's flat, then mount the other one on top of it. And it's a good way to zigzag it in there because I could fit all 4 of my 21 inches in the back of my S by doing that, where you do a tipped over staggered configuration, and then you do the tipped over staggered configuration on the other side, and it would give you the room that you would clear.
Wow. There's so much room in the S.
Mm-hmm.
The Y is great, but it's so deceptively large in the S.
Yeah, no, that's your next car, Brian.
That was my last car.
That's your last car.
I'm hanging on to the Y until it dies.
Then you get the F1.
We got to keep that thing for like 10 to 12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dang that FSD deal, I kind of, they should be able to transfer that over at least one car. That's a kind of a ripoff. The guys that first got it, the FSD, they never got to use it and they paid for it.
Yeah, I wish they'd make it transferable. I've been telling everyone who gets new, like, subscribe for a month, maybe not in the dead of winter, but subscribe for a month, see if you like where it is. If you do, great, keep your subscription up. And if you're going to keep the car for 10 years, buy it if you want. But if you want that flexibility, think you might have to transfer it or something, just do the subscription, even if it's a little more over time. Now that that's available, I think it's a way smarter way to go.
But when you got to watch out, if you don't, say if you want to buy the full stuff, you pay for the car and want to buy the subscription after, you don't want to do that, because if you have a car accident, your insurance company, if you bought it when you bought the vehicle and it's on the vehicle, your insurance company will reimburse you for that. But if you buy it after the fact, you just lost your $10,000. The insurance company ain't going to repay for that. See.
Well, I don't know that they're going to repay for it when we bought it with the car either.
I heard that a lot of people. I've heard people with accidents, and if it's on the bill of sale, it was.
Oh, maybe. I hope I don't have to find out.
No, I don't know. But I heard people actually it was covered that way.
Jim, you bought it, didn't you?
I did. I
did.
bought it. I locked in. I got it for 8,000 before the subscription was available.
Okay.
In fact, it was when Elon announced he was raising it to 10,000 in a week. That is what forced my hand to actually place an order for
I
one.
got it for 7.
And what's weird is I actually ordered a second Model Y for my wife. It's due to come in spring sometime. And because of all the price increases, she's getting the base now midnight silver metallic, which we're going to have it wrapped. She hates all the Tesla colors, by the way. She's found this midnight purple metallic color that she likes that we're going to wrap it in. So we got the midnight silver metallic because it's free now. Black seats, no autopilot. And it's almost exactly the same price. It's almost the same price as what I paid for my car a year ago with white seats and FSD.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, those price increases have just been brutal.
Mine went up 10 grand, I hear, on the
Yeah.
Model Y performance. And another thing
Yeah,
is,
8,000 on the long range.
you
Yeah.
know, the performance model, one of the ways to distinguish a performance over a non-performance is the red brake calipers. And I understand Tesla, they're not getting the red brake calipers. I mean, come on.
My Plaid has black ones.
So we don't know. You know.
Seriously?
Yeah. My wife wants me to paint them desperately.
What the hell? What did they do that?
But I heard the ceramics are coming in red, so they're trying to get me to upscale and buy the ceramics, but they're red.
$20,000, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
In
that's
for a penny, in for a pound out of Plaid, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How come
No,
the
but
race cost
I'm looking.
20,000?
I'm looking forward to a lot of performance stuff. I've heard good stuff from the Mountain Pass people, and they currently have a Plaid they've actually been testing in Canada, and that's the one that has the famous video of the Plaid going sideways on the track twice, off the track sideways. That's just scary. And it's actually a fellow Rosemount person that bought a Plaid and immediately upon picking it up, shipped it up to Canada. Because they're actually planning on racing that car next year. And the what do you call it, lap 1? It's the team PGP, the guys that ran the Model 3 last year. They're going to be racing the Plaid this season. So I'm really excited about that, and I look forward to getting some tips from them because I'm going to try not quite at the level that they're going to do, but I'm going to try doing some amateur style racing on it. So.
Is there going to be a Plaid race?
Performance parts on that and learning from those guys. So,
Jason, is there going to be a race? You know, they got that race up in Colorado, up that Pikes Peak, whatever. Is there going to be a Plaid in that?
There was.
Oh, there was.
Yeah, and that's kind of why
Yeah,
my
set the
roof,
record.
yeah, and that's kind of what my roof is styled after is the Propes, the unplugged performances. Design that they had in their Plaid, except for I couldn't pull the trigger to go actually have it go all the way down the sides and go down the hoods like theirs did. But that's where I kind of procured the pattern for my roof is from those guys.
Oh.
So actually the name of my car is a nod to them. Their car is called Dark Helmet, which fits in perfectly with the Plaid and Spaceballs theme.
right.
So my car is Blue Helmet. Because I do plan on making a racer out of it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that thing on the track or on the drag strip at least.
Yeah, drag strip for sure. Track I'm going to shoot for.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at something real quick here.
And kind of along that notes too is there's been quite a bit of inventory currently on the Plaids right now. When I checked about a week ago, there was 272 Plaids available nationwide in inventory on Tesla's websites.
Wow.
So what I've been hearing from a lot of owners is they've been called by Tesla to see if they'd be interested in a Plaid. They've been contacting all the Model S owners that are on outstanding orders, and they're even contacting Model X orders. So for example, one that was kind of interesting is a club member, Henry, who has a Plaid, and he got his Plaid slightly before mine, also has an order for a Plaid X. too. And so they contacted him to see if he'd be interested in just ordering a Plaid for now and then trading that Plaid in once his X Plaid comes in. And he had to tell him, I'm sorry, I already have a Plaid. I don't need another one. So, but I guess in general, they've been pushing people pretty heavily on it. And there's another club guy that just bought his Plaid today. He just picked it up. Chris, I think it's, yeah. Somebody just bought a Plaid today. So they've been really pushing sales. People have been cold calling and doing that. So within 1 week, the inventory's gone from 272 down to about 230. So they've sold at least 40 or 45 Plaids in 1 week. Tesla has nationwide.
I wonder if so many people are trying to see if there's going to be a tax credit that they're waiting, because it is a big investment, and if you can get some help with that, maybe they'd be doing that. I don't know.
Yeah,
but who knows if that's going to happen either. Yeah,
I would suspect right now, me not knowing the inner workings or know anybody that direct knowledge of it, I've been hearing more rumors of X's showing up. So I would believe maybe in Fremont, they've kind of switched the line to push more X's out. And I bet you they've probably stopped production of the S's and, Plaid S's. They probably are still working on long ranges, but I bet you they're dedicating more work on the X's now. And they're just trying to slowly push out they had a big push on the Plaids, and I bet you they're just ramping it down to make the long ranges and trying to focus more resources on the X's, because I've been hearing more and more of the refreshed X's come out. But only Plaid, I think, so far.
The reason I got it real good, so I don't forget, those guys were talking on that other Tesla channel, dash cam record. Since they hit our record button, you can honk the horn, but you see an accident, you want to be honking your horn all the time. You see dash cam record, and apparently it's supposed to work. You hit the voice. It's because they got it hidden in the submenus now.
Yeah. That's the way it's like for my Plaid too.
Yeah, try that out. Dash cam record.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if the new layout is kind of a platform that they had to get to then do the next level of improvements they want to do. Because it does seem like there's some counterintuitive stuff. But yeah, I don't know if it was like, well, let's rewrite it as far as we can, and then in a month we'll clean up the other stuff, but it's hard to tell. But yeah, Ellie's going to take off. So thanks for helping me get this set up and make sure it works before everyone else showed up.
Ellie, your mic, you're muted, Ellie. Hi. You won't talk to us.
But yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I had nothing to contribute for a while there.
Happy New Year.
Good night, Happy New Year, bye.
Happy New Year.
Bye.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was mentioning earlier, is being a software developer myself and knowing strategies on merging codes and branches and stuff like that. It's going to be interesting to see which dominates, because I think basically the refreshed S and the V11 are very similar, but they're not the same. One thing I'm jealous of V11 owners is you guys still have the energy graph. I don't. So are they going to get rid of that because it's hugely popular, or are they going to introduce it to my version? So seeing if they're going to completely merge them together, or are we going to lean more towards the fleet in general of the 3 and Y? Like they'll convert the refreshed S into that other the current V11 model. I'd be kind of curious to see what other people think about that too.
But do you get the stats on yours like we got with show your battery consumption and all that, or how many kilowatts?
Only on trip. I don't have the map. I don't have the energy graph anymore. I really miss it.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite features.
Oh, they take, yeah, especially when you do the launch. You want to see how many 400 watts or
yeah, I just have the little bar on the bottom, probably little green and white bar on the bottom. That's all I got.
I wonder how much when you do the launch. I wonder how much current you're using. I know I'm up like 400 or 500 on the probably.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I'll have to reset my trip at the drag strip and see That's the only way I can find out now.
How about that thing that Brandon Flash had? He hooked into the bus in the back. I don't even know if you can do that where you can monitor battery temperature. That's another thing. I wish I could monitor a battery temperature. Some cars got that. I've seen like Kyle Connor, some of the overseas cars, you can monitor battery temperature, like on the Porsche and stuff. You know that?
Yeah, the Model S performances, you could do it if you had ludicrous mode. It would actually come up in your side display. It would actually show you a battery temperature, and you could use that to see when you were ready to do the full performance ludicrous launches. But we lost that in the Plaid. But I know you can get additional hardware, and you can basically just plug it into a wire harness underneath your dash and read the CAN bus signals, and you can get that detail. I know that Dan Berkland does it.
Is it still in the back there where you gotta? It's probably moved, or it's underneath the dash. Yeah,
Underneath the dash, yeah.
On the Tesla Model Y, it's in the back of the armrest, I think.
It could be.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm only familiar with the only people I've seen that have done it are the people that race threes. Are the only people that have really been concerned about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if the energy graph on the Plaid is, maybe something that, well, I guess they wouldn't need to, but kind of going off what you were saying, if they'd be saving something like that for track mode when they develop that. Again, who knows what they're doing in the background with merging softwares and things like that. But I love the energy graph, so I would hate to miss it. That's the reason I didn't get a Plaid.
Yeah, that's understandable. even the long range doesn't have it either. So.
Oh, it doesn't in the long range either.
I don't believe so. So, but with the heat pump, the miles, from what I was told, the heat pump. Now that we have the heat pump, it should be more accurate in the mile estimations. Yeah, tell that to Minnesota minus 20-degree weather.
Yeah.
I'm hearing people up in Canada, they're having issues. Well, they use Celsius, but converted when it's minus 22 below Fahrenheit in Canada, the heat pump ain't working very good. I'm hearing they're complaining a lot about it.
Yeah, well, I think heat pumps have to start with a little bit of heat to get the cycle started.
There's a boiling point in the Freon too, Brian. It's because I was a refrigeration guy. If you get above the boiling point, if it's too cold, that's why we don't use heat pumps up in Minnesota for our homes, because they're not that efficient. Down south, it don't get, if it was 30 below or 20 below, and you didn't have a gas furnace or electric heat, heat pump your house would be freezing. That's why we don't have those up here. So, it uses Freon. It just reverses. You know how a heat pump works, Brian?
I know
it's your
academically, I know how it works.
Your central air.
It doesn't make a lick of sense to me, but academically, I understand what they say happens.
Instead of blowing,
but I can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah, instead of pulling the heat out of your house like it does, it reverses it, and it just reverses it. It takes it blows the air outside. It takes that and blows it converts it to the heat into your cab. It's hard to explain, but it only good for a certain temperature too. You get below 20 below, it doesn't. It ain't gonna work. It's just laws of physics too. But
So something kind of Tesla related to energy. It's something that was kind of surprised me and this might be just related to Minnesota, and I don't know how it would relate to other states, but there was some talk about Tesla solar not really working in Minnesota or doing any installations fairly recently. Fast forward, two of my neighbors actually got Tesla to install solar, and they're in my neighborhood.
Wow,
so,
really?
Both this year. Very surprising. Said they were a little bit difficult to work with, but so yeah, they're both Tesla owners, and they actually have Tesla solar on their houses. So
You got power walls then too, or?
I don't know. I haven't, the one I know better than the other guy, and I don't believe he's got a power wall, but he has a Model 3. But yeah, no, so they're starting to do Tesla installations solar in Minnesota again. So that's kind of positive, and I may try to look into it because I'll get their referrals, and apparently they're starting it up again in Minnesota. So pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be great. I looked into it a couple of years ago, and it's like, yeah, we'll let you know when Minnesota's back in the game. But
so I don't think they're doing it hardcore yet, but 2 in my own neighborhood have Tesla solar. So
do we get enough sunlight to justify that? I mean, no.
Yeah, their installations. I can't say I'm definitely not an expert on this, but from what I hear, their installation is a bit cheaper than other generic panels. Tesla's got a pretty good pricing point on their panels on the actual hardware compared to other ones.
And the power walls are 16,000 a piece. Am I correct?
I have no clue, but I know it's hard to get power walls, but I heard it's a little bit easier to get solar now. From what I
don't want power walls because you need to when the grid goes, down,
Yeah.
So when are we going to get Tesla insurance?
Yeah, isn't it in the app now?
It's over Illinois.
For Minnesota?
Yeah, I think if you go 4.4 of the Tesla app, it's supposed to be able to do direct
in Illinois.
In Illinois only? Okay.
I don't think we'll ever get it because this is the reason. Minnesota, I don't know if you guys know, we got a state law that says that we have a zero deductible on glass. All insurance companies got a zero deductible on glass. And I understand Tesla insurance, I've heard people that use it, I've heard a guy with $1,000 deductible, but I don't think they're going to go for the zero deductible on this glass.
It might be worth it to them to get into the market.
Then they're going to monitor you how you drive too. So you're gonna drive like a grandpa again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but just put it in FSD and let it handle it.
No,
sore topic on the beta scores.
Yeah.
I didn't use my
if it means having my safety score come back to get insurance from Tesla, no thank you.
No. My first Achilles was because of the Tesla beta score.
Hey, the brakes, you barely touch the brakes and they gig you. So I had to do brake regen all the time, and they want you to crash into something.
You just need to leave about 6 blocks between you and the car in front of you, and hope and pray they don't turn.
And steer like this. Don't turn like this. Turn like this.
Or reset the car and only drive 100 miles at night on country roads when there's nobody around. It'll get you the beta.
Did you hear what I did?
Perfect example of that.
Brian knows what I did. At midnight, I got up and I drove up to St. Cloud one day. At 12 o'clock at night on 94, I just went up to St. Cloud, drove back, and I put on over 100 miles. And
I think the rumor is they reset the double scroll wheel on the beta people, so that will no longer reset your score for a bad drive.
I got my FSD just driving 10 miles a day, and they gave me the FSD.
Much better driver than me.
You don't use your brakes very much, do you?
Probably not a lot of traffic, right, Roland?
Yeah, nothing. It's on a four-way stop. I'm the only one on the stop.
Well, I got full coverage on Nationwide. I'm over 50, and I'm paying $135 a month or something on my for the Tesla insurance. I don't think I remember when I first got my Tesla, State Farm wanted $250 a month. I go, you got to be kidding. They wanted an extra $100. I went for my Cadillac. I says, this car's got a 5-star rating, and they want to charge me an extra $100 a month. I said, I left them really quick. That's crazy. This is a
Yeah,
rip-off.
I remember when we got our used S in 2018. I called up the insurance company, got it all switched over, and they quoted me the price. I can't remember what it was, but it was significantly more than our Camry. And I was like, "Wow, that's a lot higher price." And the gal on the phone goes, "It's a lot more car." I'm like, "Well, yeah, you got me there."
Really.
But
Yeah, kind of a cute story about the guy that bought my my previous Model S P100D. He was actually the owner of an insurance company, and I didn't put two and two together immediately on it. But he asked me, I didn't get this at the time, but I kind of thought of it later. He asked me, "How much are you paying a month for your insurance?" And I'm like, "You know exactly how much I should be paying. If I'm a good driver or a bad driver, that's what you were digging for." Because he knew if I was paying $500 a month, I may have been very mean to the car. And if I was paying, like some normal rate,
Yeah.
that was really sneaky of him. But he's enjoyed the car so far, so he hasn't called me with any complaints. But I'm like, that was sneaky. He wanted to know how much I was paying a month. I know exactly where you're going if going for that.
I hope none of you guys are paying over 200 a month because they're getting ripped off. That's the insurance companies are taking advantage of you. But
with all the miles that Roland puts on, he's got to be up there.
Roland probably self-insures himself, huh?
I think I pay $250, but the two cars, so it's
Oh,
all right. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speeding tickets? No speeding. No.
it's funny. So one time I got a warning for driving too slow.
And a Tesla?
Paying $84 a month for my Tesla through Progressive.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
I,
gotta
get,
look up mine.
What?
I have Progressive. It's a pretty good rate. I think it's around 80. Yeah.
What do you guys like you must be in your 60s or more, huh? You go by age too, but
Yeah.
I'm 51.
you're 51, I'm 58. Progressive? How the hell you get that cheap? That's crazy.
I know. I got to pay. I'm looking at it right now. I'm paying $509 for 6 months.
Yeah, but you gotta
$509 for 6 months.
how is your deductible? Is it 1,000 then or what? Must be. I'm at 500.
Yeah, it's 1,000.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, I think
Makes
so.
a difference.
Makes a difference. You put $1,000 in the
Doesn't
bank,
take you long to eat up that extra $500.
No, you're right. I should think about raising that.
Yep.
$1,000 deductible. I mean,
You breathe on a Tesla that costs $1,000. So.
Well, the one thing that is kind of a lesson for potentially people that trade in a car or do the file the damage of it. I can kind of give you a little bit of a lesson learned on my. I originally tried to trade in my Model S. I did get into one accident with it, and it was a rear end collision. It was on the interstate, on one of the major interstates in downtown St. Paul in a very busy area. It involved my Tesla, a Honda, and two semi-trucks. So it had to be automatically reported because it was a ticketable event and one guy was arrested for what happened. So I kind of had to file an insurance claim on the car. And I was pleasantly surprised that the total of my repair, I was rear-ended chain reaction. So the semi-truck hit the Honda and the Honda hit me. And it did damage to my rear bumper, my trunk lid, and the damage was only about $4,000. That really surprising me because I was kind of thinking, thinking Mercedes-Benz and a lot of other cars, that it might be 10,000 plus. You'd be in the 5-figure ranges, but they have the whole painted bumper cover thing, which is surprisingly cheap. There was no internal damage that needed to be done and a little bit of work on my trunk hood. Okay, so about $4,000 worth of damage on my car. All said and done, cleared out, and I didn't have to pay any of it because I wasn't at fault, and a person was ticketed in that accident. Fast forward a year later, when I go to trade in my car, they looked up the Carfax report of the car, and because I had an incident on my record, Tesla wanted to deduct $12,000 from the price of my car for a $4,000 accident, and I did not claim the loss of damage that I probably should have through the insurance company. I wasn't really familiar with that at the time, and I thought the damage would be little enough that I didn't have to worry about it. But so I had to fight Tesla, and they basically would not repeal the fact that I only had $4,000 worth of damage, and they still wanted to take $12,000 off the value of the car. So then I had to basically sell a private party to try to get around that.
I was going to mention, say that Carfax, I got rear-ended too, and the dealer, the auto place I had, Luther Chev or something over here by Brooklyn Park, and I asked the manager, "Do you report this to Carfax?" "Oh, we don't mess around with that stuff." And lucky it wasn't reported. I've had other vehicles had it in the shop, and yeah, the body shop reports it to Carfax, like you dirty SOBs. So, but the one I use, they never reported it. So the Carfax, I know exactly. I was going to say that the Carfax, they can get you on that sucker. You know that. I don't know.
It's great when you're buying a car.
Yeah,
It's just not so great when you're trying to sell one.
like a way of
Yeah,
pounding
and
on
it's
somebody.
relatively for a $3,000 worth of damage that they wanted to take something that higher off on that. So
Yeah, that's a lot.
yeah, no big deal.
Yeah,
I just wanted to just to add a little bit of the normal live stream into this. I just wanted to talk about one thing, and then while I'm talking about that, I'd love to know what everybody's favorite EV moment or new release from 2021 is, and then what you're looking forward to most in 2022. So think about that. And I just wanted to mention a really cool story that I saw yesterday, and then there's kind of an addendum to it already today, is that Hyundai has decided to shut down their engine development division, and they're going all in on EVs in the future. Now, I'm sure they'll still produce, gas cars for a while, but they aren't developing anything new. They're kind of like, all right, we're kind of where we are with that. Let's focus on the EVs. And then today I saw that they're even shutting down their hydrogen fuel cell vehicle program. So they are completely shifting gears. I mean, not that they were way into hydrogen, but they were working on it. So I thought that's really cool. And we used to have a Sonata and loved it. Everybody seems to like the Kona and seems to be excited about the Ioniq 5. I think that's the one that's coming out next. So that's really cool. And, hopefully they can, continue to make great EVs. And it just kind of reminded me of the first Hyundai I saw was a friend from high school years ago got Tiburon, which means shark in Spanish. And it just I thought of that, and I was thinking Hyundai is kind of smelling the blood in the water from the other companies that aren't pivoting as fast and kind of taking full advantage of it. So I thought that was really cool. If anybody has any thoughts on that, let me know. But then also love to hear your best moment of 2021 and looking forward to 2022. So whoever's got something, go for it.
I got one.
Go ahead.
Best moment was when I got my Model 3 delivered in June. So that was fun.
Are you looking forward to anything in 2022 as far as road trips or changing stuff up or?
Yeah, I haven't decided yet on a road trip. I'd like to do one. I don't know, has anybody been down to Starbase, South Padre?
Yeah, I went there this year.
I kind of want to do that, but I don't know yet at what point. But I'm kind of hoping, we're going to see the Cybertruck at the end of 22 22. That's what I'm kind of hoping for.
Yeah, that'd be
Production.
great.
First Cybertrucks.
My favorite thing is the blind spot or the turn signal blind spot where you can see when you turn your blinker on, and then I guess not the FSD, because driving from Duluth all the way down back home, car drove itself. It's a long trip by yourself, so like that,
I'd say for me for 21 is the number of different models of EVs they brought in, just thinking of the e-tron coming around, the Porsche Taycan coming around, and the Volkswagen, just the granted, I think it's still a little stronger in Europe than it is here in the States for availability of EVs, but just even seeing the couple EVs that did make it to the States, I mean, I welcome the competition. I think it's awesome. Bring it on. It'll make them all better. The Mach-E and just, all the other different vehicles. So, and then that's next year, wait for the Cybertruck. Fingers crossed.
What's the worst thing, Brian? Electrify America, one in the whole state.
Well, yeah, hopefully that'll change. That could
Yeah.
be something we look forward to in 2022.
They better change some. No,
Yeah.
there'll be a lot of dead F-150s on the side of the road.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
like
for me, it's
Jason,
2021. Yeah, go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, like Jason said, the competition is out there, all these other EVs, and the fact that you're actually seeing them on the roads too. Like I drive around and see an ID4 or something. I was doing an FSD test and saw a Taycan just parked randomly. I'm like, holy crap, that's right there in Minnesota. And it seemed to take forever to start seeing EVs here, at least. That to now have it be pretty commonplace is awesome.
About the Pulsar too. Remember Electrify America? Wow.
Yeah. That one too. I still need to drive one of those.
Where the wasp at? Get stung.
I'm sorry, Jim, you had something?
No, I was just going to say, it felt like 2021 for me was, I guess, a tipping point in the industry where electric cars have been generally been accepted as the future of vehicles. I think up until this year, it's always been kind of we're the weird Tesla people over here on the side that kind of do our own thing. And now it's like everyone's saying, oh my God, this is real. Yeah, everyone's rushing to it. And I'm glad seeing that there's so many entrants to the market. I'm still very glad that I own a Tesla. I think the charging infrastructure that is outside the supercharging network still has a long way to go. There's too many horror stories that happen on the Electrify America network that I would never want to venture out. But that's what I think has happened. That's what I'm most excited about. I'm excited about all the competition. The competition's only going to help drive the technology forward.
Yeah, definitely.
My highlight for 21 was definitely the Texas trip I mentioned. So we did a road trip down to, we were staying in San Antonio, but we visited Starbase and visited the Gigafactory.
Both. Cool.
That was amazing. I actually want to, because they're going to be having an opening event, aren't they, at Giga Texas? I don't know if it would be invite only or what, but if we can get a cool convoy, maybe.
I'd be game on a road trip.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure, we can get plenty from Minnesota and Iowa to go to that.
I'd have thought so.
But
That would be cool.
So for residents only, it'd be because hope we can get in there, but
yeah, because in the Germany one, I think it was kind of like it's like a county fair or something, didn't they?
yeah.
And I think the invites were only for locals, but or press and things. So yeah maybe they'll do the same, but
yeah, I think they did, like, if you were local, you pretty much got in, and then for other people, you were kind of in a lottery, it seemed like. just from some of the videos of like people being interviewed outside. Because I think some guy drove down from Norway or something and he couldn't get in, but he was like
saw
still
that, yeah.
there, and it was cool that he was there. And
Yeah.
or maybe he
Maybe
did
that's
get
what we
in, but
should-
he didn't know he got in until he knew if he waited to find out before he started driving, he wouldn't make it. So yeah, it'll be kind of
Maybe that's what we should
interesting.
do anyway.
Yeah, maybe we
go
just
down
have a
anyway.
big convoy, assuming we'll get in by the time we get there.
I'd be willing to just be there, and then I'll, let our club membership, because he usually has a pretty good connection to getting in. So,
Yeah.
and I don't
Yeah.
think they could, I don't think they could just do it to the Cybertruck owners either, because I think there's quite a few of those.
Well,
Yeah.
hey, Jim, is that a real room you're in? Is that a picture behind you?
No, it's fake.
Oh, what a nice room.
He's got the sun streaming in at 11 at night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
forget to do that, yeah. Looks like a bar.
It is a nice set though.
And
Looks good.
if I knew how to turn
Right,
it off
on-
quickly, I'd show you what's really behind me, and then you'd all laugh.
File cabinet.
All right.
All right,
Here
on
we
my
go.
highlight. Hey, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Roland.
On my highlight on 2021 is there's this guy.
This was
I'm very
behind me.
thankful that drove my Model 3 up here. So I'm very thankful for that guy. So that's a big thing. So who's that guy?
Was that guy that was like this? Does he do this all the time?
Yeah.
He's always talking with his
Alright.
hands like a moron.
Yeah. He keeps on, yeah. That's a big highlight. So we just, I don't know. We just through Facebook. I told him, hey, I'm going there. We don't know each other. We saw each other. We meet up at Mall of America, and then
Yeah.
that's it. And then he said, I could drive it. I said, you sure? Yeah. All right. So that's a nice one. So that's awesome, Brian.
It was a fun adventure. I
Roland,
got a
did you-
couple videos out of it too.
Yeah,
so-
Roland, you gotta watch the video. Like, his Model S almost died or something too, didn't it?
Oh, he
Yeah,
knows
it's
all
just
about
that-
it.
Yeah. It's I don't know. Our level 3 here, I don't know. It's not good. And the feature that I like is that you could actually make the FSD in the full screen. Kind of like it.
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't know. I like it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it really
Oh.
makes the whole thing feel very clean and futuristic.
Futuristic. That's it. Yeah.
how about
That's what I
accessing-
like.
Accessing the cameras on the phone, I forgot that. The new one,
Yep.
I
Yeah.
really like that.
Yeah, that's another good one.
I've been using dark mode all the time. I like dark mode.
Dark mode, huh?
Yeah, I was thinking as you see stuff on Twitter as far as people complaining about Tesla and things, and there's definitely valid criticisms. I think we all know that, but people think of like Tesla cares about safety as far as the crash worthiness and all that stuff, but in just talking to my wife and like thinking about it, seeing some other comments about that feature on the app, being able to see your cameras before you go out to your car, it's kind of fun and cool that you can talk into it too, and
Something-
do the voice. That's kind of fun. Oh, my camera has to be reset every 30 minutes. But the fact that like when my wife's in an unfamiliar place, parking downtown or wherever, as we're
Yeah.
doing road trips and you don't know the area you're in, just having that, I can look around the car before I get out to it. That's a great safety feature. So
You got the speaker, Brian?
yeah.
Oh, I don't have the speaker.
Yes, I got something John doesn't have.
I heard they could newest update, you can be in your car and say stuff. I was watching an Eric guy, and you'd say something in the cabin, talk out instead of through the phone. You can sit in the cab and say stuff.
Yeah,
to
but
the-
it only works in park.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be driving down the road yelling at people, which is what I want to do.
oh, yeah. Or police siren. Wee, 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 wee. Get out
Yeah.
of the way.
Yeah, I decided I'd test that last night at like 11 at night. And I'm sitting in the garage and I'm like, hey, does this work? Hit megaphone. Hey, does this work? And my garage is just, shaking with the sound. And I'm like, oh, I just woke everyone up. That's not cool. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's loud. And the car's going, oh, wow, that's loud. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Yeah. But I noticed the battery in this cold weather. I park in the battery. I'm losing. I mean, it ain't like summertime. The battery don't last. I mean, I lose a percentage a lot more. Probably, I figure 10 or 15% in this cold weather.
Yeah, I haven't had a good chance to drive any good distances lately
Well, I got the heat
to
pump
really
going.
warm the battery up.
Yeah.
I do precondition, but it doesn't, it's not the same as, driving down the highway for an hour or whatever.
Well,
Yeah,
I like it.
you know it's winter when your regen disappears.
Yeah.
Well, I like it when you put it in campfire mode when you get out of the car and you get in there and the car's nice and warm. So, of course, you lose it there because I'm keeping the car warmed up.
Well, yeah, I had to run out as it started snowing here yesterday or the day before. And just had to run to the grocery store. I'm like, oh, I don't want to have to clean the car out when I come back. I'm just going to leave everything on, go in for 10 minutes and everybody else is out there wiping their windshields off. And I just hop in and drive away like a jerk. But yeah, that kind of stuff. And today we had some contractors over looking at some stuff we have to do in the house. And, they saw the Tesla and were asking all the questions about it and everything. And, they were saying that we got to talking about, how they act in the cold and everything. And I said, but, I can take my daughter from the warm house to the warm car through the closed garage and get her in there. And that is like when the first time I did that, warmed the car up with a closed garage. It was just.
And I heard on the news
game-changer.
today, gas prices are gonna go over $4 a gallon here. And I mean, we're paying, well, I got on a flat rate, but was it about $7 of electricity when you fill up in your home? Something like that. 50% or something to probably $7 or less. Huh?
Yeah, for me, it's about $5. That's my favorite line. I love to tell people. It only costs me $5 to fill up my car
I used
for
to
about
spend
300 miles of driving.
I know. I used to spend $45-50 in gas in a Cadillac, and they said, "Well, this is another thing is that people say, tell them this. Well, that cars are expensive. Well, take the money you save on gas and put it towards the car payment. Oh, you got
Yeah, I don't know if any of you guys watched EV Dave's latest trip.
Oh,
He did he's done a couple road trips in the Model Y up to Wyoming from North Carolina. And last week he did that trip in Ford, I think F-250, carrying a trailer. And every stop was like $65. Now he was going probably further than we'd be able to, definitely towing.
yeah.
But that cost was just adding up. And it was really interesting after seeing so many EV road trips, watching somebody do it, the same route than an F-250 and getting diesel and, to kind of talking about that. And because he knows where all the chargers are, as he's driving by, he's like, oh, there's a supercharger at that hotel there, or across the road there, there's a supercharger. And So it was kind of an interesting, different perspective. So
Does Dave own a paging company or a cell site company? He's got those towers. I mean, he's into something because I'm a ham radio operator, and it jives that he must own a paging company.
well, he definitely does ham radio because he commented on the video we did together where I showed the inside of your car.
Yeah.
And he saw your ham radio setup. He's like, you should do a video on that ham radio setup.
If you don't give his call sign out, I asked him. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know he's in that world. I don't.
Well, the thing is with the ham call sign, you can look it up on the internet and you find out where somebody lives. Maybe he wants to keep anonymous.
You mean like under you right now where you can see your call sign?
If you typed in KA0KMJ on the internet, FCC database, you'd find where my address is.
Yeah.
But I don't care. There's blocks in this house, so hey, I'm not going to be secretive. Come knocking on my door. I know YouTube guys, you got to worry about being, I don't know, stalkers, I guess. Brian, you got a couple stalkers, don't you know?
Nobody cares.
I know, but
I had one guy show up at my door.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, knocked on my door and said, hi. Somehow tracked me down. What's that?
That's Eric tearing apart his refreshed S.
Wow.
So Eric out of Colorado, he has torn apart his refreshed S.
Oh, he just got the refresh S?
No, I mean, it's
What's
his
he doing
Plaid.
to it?
Oh,
I
Plaid?
have no clue, and now I'm kind of interested.
What is he doing?
But that basically tells you, you can kind of see what I was talking about, where you can't swivel the dash, and it's like molded in there. The screen area.
Yeah. He promotes that Aspect Ocean. You know, they're okay about, but it's a bunch of plastic stuff. It's not really, it's, you know, I bought some of their stuff. They're screen protectors, but they're not they're no big, just a bunch of plastic stuff to add to your car. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're not that big, but I mean, to me, with what are you can only put so much accessories, plastic this, plastic that. I mean, who does that? I mean, I don't know. You know,
I don't know. One of my highest viewed videos this year was about accessories for the Model Y. So it's definitely a hot
People are interested.
topic. Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
Jim, you've got a couple videos like that about different accessories too.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have a bunch more because Top Fit just sent me a crap ton of stuff to try out for the car that they just said, here.
Top Fit?
Take this. Top Fit, yeah.
I haven't heard of them.
There's actually a bank called Top
Fit. Yeah.
Here in
it's
Iowa.
topfitev.com. Not
Oh.
trying to plug, but they've got stuff, and that they said just, hey, we'd like you to promote our stuff. I said, great. Who are you and what do you have? And they sent me a link and they said it was just their website. And I'm like, okay, I'm interested in these 7 things. You want to send me any or all? They said, sure. I said, what? They said, yeah, we sent them all to you.
Oh, hey, you said you just bring this up. I bought the screen protectors and I bought the cover for the key fob. I bought the key fob for the Model Y. And the key fob, the battery, I only get like 2 months on that battery and the battery's shot. So I'm tearing this thing apart all the time, every 2 months, putting the battery on. Is that normal on the key fobs?
It may depend on where you source your batteries from. Where are you getting your batteries from?
eBay. But they say Energizer on them. I don't know. They lithium. Is there a better place to get? Is there better lithium batteries out there? Or?
It's kind of hit or miss. Some generic sites that sell batteries, some more companies that I won't mention, don't ever buy fob batteries from them.
You know what's interesting too? On the screen, it tells you, it says your key fob battery is low. On the screen, which is, I think is kind of neat that the Tesla thing, it knows when the battery's low, so it gives you a little indicator on the screen. You know, Brian, you don't have a key fob yet, do you? Oh, you're muted. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm muted. At least you guys can tell me right away now, instead of everybody texting me, "You're muted. You're muted." No, I don't have a key fob. I have the had the key fobs for the S, and they seem to last quite a while. But
Oh, I'll have to
I
check
don't know.
it
It might
out.
be a matter of the different.
Have you got
batteries
the
you
screen
get.
protector yet, Jason? I guess Eric is working on trying to get those screen protectors.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of we don't have a lot of accessories for the refreshes S yet. They're coming in slow. I did finally found winter mats, but only one company had them available, and not even Tesla. So they're few and far between right now.
Oh, really?
They'll be coming.
Yeah, Eric didn't have a live stream last week. I was wondering. I watched those guys. Well, he's got that car tore apart. Jesus, what the hell is he doing?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious too. I'm just checking his Twitter feed to find out what he's doing.
He's
I'll report back.
He's
I'll
getting
message him.
clicks, is what he's getting.
Yeah.
What the hell you? Hey,
Not mine.
Yeah.
I can actually IM him because we've done some mutual complaining about our Plaid deliveries. He was also late on his deliveries too.
Sandy Moreau's got his Plaid. He's done a road trip right now. I guess they were watching his videos.
Yeah, I think they're just finished, and they had a meetup in Michigan. I saw Misco Electric posted some pictures with him, and then I think Dirty Tesla Chris.
Yeah.
Is that right? I think he was there too, but it was kind of the last hurrah before they tear it apart.
I want part of that car. I want about 2 stickers I bought. I bought 2 bumpers, but I don't know. I just bought them. I mean, I'm not going to put them on my car. Bought a bumper sticker from them.
Yeah, that was brilliant marketing by them.
You got a lot of money, but then that Sabi or whatever, that plastic company, took the rest of the money, whatever they owed on it. Sobe or.
And then essentially he sells the data and the reports to other car companies. So
he's an angry old. He's like in his 70s, but
he tells it like it is. I like him.
Yeah, he's a good old guy.
Yeah.
Like his Marone Associates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure how much longer I have on the battery on this. I've had to do I got a new camera a couple weeks ago, and I'm still figuring out the best ways to connect it for different things, which is why it keeps shutting off. Zoom doesn't recognize it at all unless I do a kind of backwards way into it. But I just wanted to say thank you one more time for everybody joining tonight and on the other nights when I can't see your faces. Before we wrap up, I do want to say a couple other things, but first I was going to say, Jim, what do you have coming up on your channel?
I have a bunch of reviews. I'm going to be reviewing a game controller for the Model Y. I've got some replacement side mirrors that are wide angle from Summa Performance. I got some cool stuff for Christmas that are not Tesla related, like a Bissell USB powered vacuum cleaner.
Iowa Tesla guy.
And also, anybody go to superchargers road tripping and wish that they had ways of washing your windows? I should turn off my my background here so you can see this. Sorry.
Well,
Video backgrounds, none. Here we go. My mom bought me a washer for my windows, a washer and a squeegee, but the handle it holds the liquid. So you can spray the liquid on your windshield and clean off your windshield while at your superchargers when you don't have any options available to you. So little stuff like that. Probably more FSD videos. Just It's just honestly, sometimes it's hard figuring out what you're going to do and what you're going to put out. It's like I don't know. It's just an internal pressure point that says every week you got to get something out. And I think there was one week where I just didn't get something out, and I have to admit that right now with my day job, it's just been absolutely bonkers, and it's hard sometimes just to get something out.
I'm gonna have to watch you more, Jim.
How about you, Brian?
Jim.
I'm doing this week is going to be a walkthrough of kind of the new UI. In the summer, I did a deep dive of the center screen, and it got me the best comment. I've probably said this before on live streams, but it was something to the effect of, "This is the most boring video in the world, but damn, the information's good." I'm like, I'll take it. It's good enough.
You can't make anybody happy on the internet.
Yeah.
Anymore. I just, today, the video that I put out on driving FSD in the winter, I legitimately did it because I didn't know what the car was going to do. And my comments go nuts saying that I just did it for clickbait and you knew it wasn't going to actually work. And I'm just doing it for views. I'm like, okay, I can't win.
Are you allowed to go live on that? If you go live, is that against the rule for if you have a camera?
I've never gone. I've never gone live.
I don't think you're supposed to. At least the initial beta testers were saying that they weren't allowed to live stream it.
And then Jim,
I've signed no NDA.
On that
I
squeegee,
haven't either. But
on that squeegee, Jim, you got Brian's gonna test to me and back me up. The only supercharger that I don't know I ran into, Clear Lake, Minnesota, they got a cleaner for your windshield or your the fluid. Remember, Brian, at the Clear Lake truck stop?
Yeah.
There's a fluid there. They got a container for fluid and then the stick for cleaning your windows.
yeah. There's a couple in Dickinson, North Dakota's got one.
And Wisconsin has a bunch because there's a guy that sponsors them.
Garbage can. The gas station sponsored because they were out of fluid, and I walked into the gas station and it says, "Can somebody fill it up there?" And sure enough, the guy goes out there and fills it up. They maintain it.
We road trip a lot between here and Colorado because my son goes to school up there, and I can tell you that between Eastern Iowa and Boulder, Colorado, there is one, and it's in the middle of Nebraska, and they've just got buckets, and they're usually filled with flies, and they're nasty, and they smell horrible. So I think I'll stick with this.
Yeah, well, it would be good to see how that does, with some good snowy road grime after a good snow drive.
Yeah, we'll see.
Get that stuff off.
11:30 already, huh?
Roland, have you got anything coming up on your channel?
Yes. So I'm gonna my lifestyle channel. So I'm gonna create a new one. So I'm gonna start with the new one, January 1st. It's gonna be I don't know yet the title, but it's just gonna be pure Tesla because my lifestyle that's about my baby and my sneakers and whatever. So now I'm just gonna go Tesla with my wife's FSD, and I think I got a good content because I'm the only one here in Williston, and I'm working at fracking. I'm a frack guy, and I drive a Tesla, so that's why I get the heat every day on the shop, but I don't care. Yeah, and
the new channel will be called Fracking Tesla.
Oh, maybe. All right, so yeah.
Maybe.
And
that's probably
also, Brian, I got you some stickers now. So
oh, thank you.
Gonna get it a couple of days now. So
were you a sticker man?
I was going to wear my hat.
I do it on the side, so
yeah, Roland made my hat with the logo on it, and some shirts I have, and the patches. I can't think of words. So thank you very much. All that stuff is very cool. And my hat isn't in my office because I wear it so much. It ends up wherever I took it off to get ready for this and comb my hair and shave like a human being. So, but I do wear it all the time. And so thank you very much for that.
No problem.
But I also wanted to, like I said, thank you all for joining tonight. And if everyone was here, we'd all be sharing this for the new year. So I bet that was very loud. I'm sorry.
Is that the,
But,
is that the sugar free? What is that the non-alcoholic?
Yeah, this is the grape soda.
You can't even see mine.
But
Really show up. Perrier green.
yeah,
Oh, 'cause it's green.
it's keying out. Yeah. But
Drink
thank
enough.
you all. And I hope you all have a fabulous rest of 2021
Yeah.
and a wonderful 2022 with lots of EV events and road trips and all sorts of fun. So thank you very much.
You as well.
And
This is
Happy
gonna
New
be
Year.
put up on the website, right? You're gonna transfer this to YouTube?
yeah, I'll post this tomorrow morning.
You gotta figure out how you can go live on YouTube with this. Like
I know I'm not really tech savvy.
the guys in Canada do it. Oh,
Well, a lot of people do it. I know if I pay either Zoom or
hey, Jim, show them how to
my
do it.
live stream software more money, I can do
Oh.
it really easily. But I think there's a way to do it.
Jim, don't you know how to do it? You know how to do it, don't you?
I could probably figure it out, but
Can I
I've
zoom
never
to-
tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those that until I have more time to play with it, this is what I got.
Yeah,
So
Brian knows far more about live broadcasting to YouTube than I do. I haven't actually had the guts to try to do it yet. So
it's scary as hell. But you do get used to it.
yeah, that's why I haven't done it.
I'm in a very cold basement and I'm sweating even today. So that can happen.
I should just say that I am much better highly edited.
Yeah, me too. Especially those first live streams. For those of you who watched those, thank you, because there was a lot of dead air in those babies. A lot of me going, you need to talk. You need to talk. You need to talk. So I do appreciate that. And I also wanted to thank you all because I did hit 1,000 subscribers this week,
All right.
which was kind of the goal this year. And I didn't bring it down here, but I have a calendar where I had marked like in March, I hit 600 and I was like, yeah, I'm on a roll. I should hit 1,000 easy by the end of the year. And then for some reason, things just stalled out over the summer or fall.
But now can you get paid now, monetized or what do you call it? If you got 1,000?
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Well, what if
I do want to ask a question about that too. But then I was kind of stuck at like 940 for months.
What are you at right now?
And I think 112 or 1,012. And so I was like, well, it's just not going to happen this year. And then for some reason, the last couple videos have done well and more people have found it. So that's just, really cool to actually have achieved something that it kind of seemed like was out of reach. So thank you. I did sign up and got approved to do the monetization thing. But I've tried to keep it. They give you the option to be really obnoxious if you want to be, where you can have like the banners and the pop-ups on the side and like really spam people. So I've tried not to do that. I've tried to keep it kind of to the level of what YouTube does automatically already. But if it's super annoying and it's you feel like man, I gotta sit through 8 commercials, let me know, because I might not see that on my end. And I definitely don't want it to seem spammy or money grabby or anything.
Well,
Obviously, I'd like to make a little money, but I also don't like.
what
I
happens
know
on me?
the viewing experience is more important than
Uh,
putting every banner, every click thing on there. So
I get-
let me know.
I got YouTube Premium, so what happens on that? You don't make money off of me?
You don't have to watch ads, and I get some of your money.
Really? I don't watch. No, I pay the premium, the $13 a month, because I got sick of the ads.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I get a very small amount of money from YouTube Premium subscribers, and it is a very small amount of money.
So you know.
And
who-
Brian, flip all the switches, turn everything on. I can tell you, I have everything on mine, and it's no more intrusive than every other video that's on there. So
Okay, well that's
turn
good
it
to
all
know.
on,
What happens if it drops below?
and make sure you go in and turn it all on for your. You can turn it all on for your past videos too.
Oh, I did that. I did that this afternoon. I just went through and like, nobody's going to watch this video from 2 years ago about driving to
happens-
Sherburne,
what happens if
Minnesota.
it
But
drops below
but if
1,000?
they do,
Hey, Jim, what if it drops below
Yes.
1,000? If people unsubscribe and it drops below 1,000, then you lose everything, or how does that work?
what are you saying, John? Are you
I
leaving
think
me?
Hopefully don't do it. But
if that happens, then you probably need to be
And we blame
rethinking
John.
your entire long-term strategy.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I think if you like teeter around there, if I was hoping that I would just kind of fly past it really quickly and not have to worry about it, but
yeah.
Yeah, I was watching, obviously, because I'm new to this. I was watching a video on it today, and they said if you drop below, as long as you keep posting, you're fine. They need they say they need the 1,000 subscribers to get good, to make sure they have good data on you as a creator. But as long as you keep posting and you don't have a gap longer than 6 months, if you stay, if you go below that, you're going to be okay. But chances are, once you pass that, if you keep creating decent stuff, you're probably going to stay above it. But we shall see.
Don't behave me. I'm a premium member now. I've been premium for over 2 years now. So yeah.
I'm gonna retire off of this, so it's all good.
Well, I got nailed on it. YouTube gave me an offer. They says we'll give you a premium for 6 months. And man, I can't turn that down. Of course, the 6 months is up. I can't turn it. I have to keep it because it's going back to the commercials. I mean, it's just like on Hulu. Like Hulu, you pay $6 a month for Hulu, but you get a ton of commercials. You pay $12 with no commercials. I did it for 1 day, and I couldn't. The commercials would drive me nuts. So, but
Yeah.
Happy New Year, everybody. I guess it's 11:30. Let's get out of here, huh?
Yeah.
I do appreciate everybody joining and sharing their perspectives and everything. And we'll see. I don't know if you guys enjoyed this. Maybe we'll do it every so often. Maybe I can find a way, if I sit down and actually read all the info on my live stream stuff, and on Zoom, I can maybe make these pair up. But I for today, I couldn't think of a way to do it without there being a major lag time issue, and it could get really confusing. So I'll work on that, and maybe we'll do this again. But I appreciate everybody joining, and like I said, I'll post this tomorrow.
Thank you. Good night.
And that must be the sign to call it. So good night, everybody. Thank you very much.
Happy New Year.
Have a great
Bye-bye.
night.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.